Hello, today I will be making a parallel circuit using a breadboard as well as measuring its resistance, voltage, current, and power. I will be measuring both theoretical and real calculations. I will be using these resistors and a 12-volt power source. Unlike series circuits, for parallel circuits, we will be using the following formula below. We can obtain each value by measuring each one of the resistors using a multimeter. Theoretically, this should be the value for each one of those. Once we put all these values in our formula, we should get something like this. 1 over parentheses 1 over 10,000 ohms plus 1 over 2,000 ohms plus 1 over 1,000 ohms plus 1 over 5,100 ohms. Placing it in the calculator, we should get the following number: 556.768559. Now, this is the value for our total resistance in the circuit. We know that this is the value because it is smaller than the lowest number that we see in here. Now that we have both of these values, we can use Ohm's law to figure out the rest of the numbers. Our first resistor has the value of 9,983 ohms. Our second resistor has the value of 1,991 ohms. Our third resistor has the value of 998 ohms. And our last resistor has the value of 5,073 ohms. Placing the values on the same formula and inputting it into the calculator, we get this following result. We can see in the comparison that both measurements are very similar, although they are not the same. And this is how each one of the resistors should be placed on the breadboard. Before placing our resistors on the breadboard, we must know what our power source is. And our power source in here is 12.307 volts. Now, after doing all my theoretical calculations using Ohm's law, we see that each individual resistor should have about 12.2 volts. In a parallel circuit, voltage should be the same all around the board, and right here we can prove it with our multimeter. Using my theoretical calculation again, my current measurement for my first resistor is 1.22 milliamps. Our second one should be 6.1 milliamps, our third should be 12.2 milliamps, and our last one should be 2.39 milliamps. Now, here I opened my circuit, but I closed it using my multimeter, and we can see that the value is 1.22 milliamps, which is very similar to the one that we have in here for our theoretical. My second resistor has a current of 6.135 milliamps. Here's the value for our third measurement. And here's our fourth value: 2.39 and 2.39 milliamps. Here's my calculations.